Hello students, in this tutorial video we're going to talk about the order of operations. When we have really long problems, it's important to know the order of operations so that everyone can come to the same answer and solution. Okay, so order of operations, you guys know it as PEMDAS. And in elementary, you guys learned different ways to remember its order. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is one of the most often used. Okay, but this is the way I like to write it on the side because it's going to help me remember the steps that I need to follow in which specific order. And when we get to these two, there's a reason why these two are together. Okay, so here is my problem that I'm going to solve using the order of operations. And it's important to list all of the steps to come up with a solution. Once you list the steps and you follow the order of operations, we should all come to the same solution. Okay, so the first step in order of operations is parentheses. And so parentheses can look like that, or it can look like brackets. So the first step you got to do is you have to solve everything inside of the parentheses. So here's my parentheses, and inside my parentheses I have 2 plus 3. So 2 plus 3 gives me 5. And since I've already done this part of the problem, I'm going to bring everything else down. So this is to the second power. That's an exponent, which is going to be our next step. Okay. And even though I still have parentheses around this number, it's not parentheses anymore because it doesn't have an operation inside of it. So I can cross that out because I'm done with that step. This is now an exponent, which our next step in the order of operations is exponents. So my exponent is 5 to the second power. 5 to the second power means I multiply the base, which is 5, times itself 2 times. So 5 times 5. And 5 times 5 is going to give me 25. So now I'm done with this step, and I'm going to bring everything else down. So slowly I'm starting to continue, and I'm done with exponents. I don't have any more exponents in order to find the solution. Okay. All right. So now we come to multiplication and division. And so I told you that there was a reason why these two are together. And one of the misconceptions that many students have is that you do multiplication first and then division, which is not correct. The reason why these two are together is you're going to go in your problem from left to right. So from left to right. And out of these two operations, whatever comes first, that's what you're going to do. So going from left to right, the first thing that shows up is division. So 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. So I'm done with this step, and I'm going to bring everything else down. Since I'm still not done with multiplication and division because I have division in this problem, I'm going to go ahead and do the multiplication, multiplication step. So 25 times 2 gives me 50. And so I'm done with this step. I'm going to bring everything else down. And I'm going to scoot it up so you guys can see. And I don't have multiplication and division anymore, so I am finished with that step. So finally, the last step is addition and subtraction. And again, these two are also together. And because we're going to do the same thing, we're going to go from left to right, whatever comes first. So going from left to right in my problem, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 minus 50. And I've noticed that sometimes students, they think, oh, I'm just going to do the other numbers that are easy first and then finish with the harder numbers. But no, you have to follow the order of operations. And this includes, now you should be able to follow the integer rules or operations with rational numbers. So 2 minus 50. Let's say you have $2 and you spend $50. Well, you didn't have enough, so now you're going to owe $48. So I'm done with this step, and I'm going to bring down my final step of this problem, which is to add 10. And so if I owe $48, but I pay 10 of those dollars that I owe, then I only owe $38. So my answer and solution to this really long problem is negative 38. So I know it's a lot of work, I know it's a lot of steps, but these steps are important in order for all of us to have the same solution. Okay, so that was the order of operations, or PEMDAS, and this concludes this tutorial video.